What's up? What's up? What's up? It is your guy. Mark my words. Welcome to tonight's Q&A. All right. So come on in, sit down, get comfortable with your boy, man. We're gonna do some good things tonight. So if this is your first time on the channel, my name is Mark my words. On this channel, we talk about relationships, we talk about self-improvement, we talk about masculinity, we talk about a little bit of family building. So tonight we're gonna answer some real questions from some real people, men and women. And we're gonna get down to some good answers and some advice. So if anything I say in tonight's live resonates with you, and you might want to go deeper, you think you might need a coach in some of the areas that we're talking about, please go down in the description, book a call with me. We'll get on the line, we'll talk about it, see if we need to establish a relationship. If not, if you just want to contact me and give me a submission, a letter, something that you want on a featured on a live Q&A, email me at coachmark22@gmail.com. That is coachmark with a C, 22@gmail.com. All right. That's what we do. So we're gonna get you some good questions tonight, man. Come on and get comfortable. We're gonna talk for a little bit. So make sure you put your answers in the chat. Now listen, when I answer questions and give advice to people, these are real people. So make sure that you give your advice as well in the chat. That's what helps the thing go. All right. It's nice to get advice from one person. It's a beautiful, beautiful thing to get advice from multiple people because we've all had different situations. We've all had different experiences. So it's really good when you hear viewpoints from different people. All right. I know what I'm talking about, but so do you, I'm sure. All right. So make sure you put some comments in the chat section tonight. All right. So we're gonna get started, man. I'm just not gonna play around a whole lot when we get started on this live. So I got a first question. Respect for just putting up with me. Hey, coach, I've been seeing this woman for a while. I can't shake the feeling she's just tolerating me rather than truly respecting me. She's kind and doesn't argue much, but I feel like she doesn't really value what I bring to the table. How can a man tell the difference between being respected or just being kept around? Hmm. Well, let's see what we can do tonight, guys, because a lot of people go through these type of situations. Now, first, he said that he's seen this woman for a while, right? And he's having this feeling. Now, how I feel about intuition and our gut feelings, bro. You have gut feelings and intuition for a reason. It's not by accident, man. So when your gut is telling you something, most of the time it's right. Now, if you're the person that gets scared in every situation you're in, you're having negative feelings. Every day you're having negative feelings. Well, bro, that's not intuition. That's you just being negative. All right. But in this situation, especially in relationships, always ask people, how do you feel about this person? Like straight up, how do you feel about them? How do you feel about the situation? Are you being valued? Do you feel like it's going to go somewhere? Do you feel like it's a dead end, whatnot? Normally, your gut does not guide you incorrectly. All right. You have gut feelings for a reason. Okay. Now, he said she's kind and doesn't argue much. That's cool, right? That's a good sign. But if you are with somebody who's super kind to you just to keep you around, and that's how you feel, and that's what you feel like they're doing, yes, it makes you feel good, bro. And I understand that. But the fact that she's just keeping you around, if you feel like, oh, she's just keeping me around because she doesn't have anything else to do, this is what's going to happen. When something else comes about and she has something better to do, she's going to leave you standing where you are, right where you are, bro. She's going to leave you standing right where you are as soon as she has a better option. All right. Now, let's be clear. When a woman likes you, you normally don't question it. When she likes you, you normally don't question it. A lot of you guys have had women love you and adore you before you've even taken them on a date, but you didn't like them that much. You know how you be talking to people and you don't like them that much, but because you didn't like them that much, you didn't see the value in how much they liked you. Okay, but if you can think back to a couple of annoying females, whether it be at work, whether you went to school with them, whether they were people you know through your family, friends of a friend, right? You just didn't like them too much, but you could tell they liked you, and there was never a doubt. There was never a doubt from day one. Bro, this is one of these situations where I'm telling you that if you're doubting how she feels about you, if you're doubting whether or not she likes you, if you're doubting whether or not y'all gonna be together in 6 months, I say start making plans to look elsewhere, homie. I'm gonna tell you the truth. But this is one thing you could do. Ask her to borrow some money. Ask her to borrow a couple dollars, baby boy. About 1,200. I mean, 12, anything over 1,000. You did. If she really like you, she's either gonna give it up or she gonna say, listen, I don't have that much, but I have 600. I got $742 for you. If she don't like you that much, she's gonna be disgusted that you even asked her, and she's gonna cut you off. And that's gonna be your answer. Now, bro, you have to understand something. A lot of us are in nice financial positions, so we rarely ever have to ask these women for money. But bro, that's always the tall tale. I would have told you to do that with a dude if that's your homie. Oh, you think he fooled you like that? Just asking for a couple dollars. That normally weed out the bad egg, the bad eggs. They're gonna jump up out the box. I promise you that. But if you already feel like she's just keeping you around to keep you around for something to do, she probably doesn't like you that much. Let me just keep it real with you. When a woman likes you, fam, you do not have to. There is no question about it. She likes you. She been liking you. She gonna keep on liking you. That's how it goes. So that was a good question, though. And a lot of times, guys, we go through stuff like that. So if we don't ask the questions, we end up going down this rabbit hole, man, for 6, 7, 8 months, sometimes a couple years, might even have a kid to them before we realize we've been getting shitted on the whole time. So it's a good question to bring up, bro. All right. So make sure you email me with your questions, with your situations, just like these people did. CoachMark22@gmail.com. All right. Now, we got another question from a young lady. I'm getting him to open up. Hi, Coach Mark. I'm dating a man who I know cares about me, but he rarely opens up emotionally. I want to know what he's thinking and feeling, but every time I ask, he shuts down or changes the subject. How can I get him to open up more without feeling like I'm pushing him away? That's a good question, sis. I ain't gonna hold you. Um, and trust me, a lot of females are in your position dealing with a man that doesn't open up too much. All right. So one thing I can say is we don't get tired of a woman asking us how we feel about stuff, even if we don't answer. We could be introverted. We could just be a little private. We could have had a funny upbringing. We could have been in a bad relationship, a bad past relationship. So there could be a lot of reasons why we're shutting down on you, right? But we don't get tired of you saying, how do you feel? How are you feeling about this? How does this make you feel? That doesn't really annoy us, even if we don't want to answer. Now, I know it's very important for you guys to know how we feel about things, but you have to understand that men, especially who were raised by men in their homes, they were taught to get to the business no matter how they felt. No matter how you feel, bro, you got to get up for school today. No matter how you feel, you got to get out on that field and play. No matter how you feel, you got to go get this money today. You got to go facilitate this meeting. So there are many of us who put our feelings to the back burner all the time. And that's how we get stuff done. He might just be one of those men that does that. If he did not like you, he would not be with you. Okay? A lot of times women feel like because we're not opening up to them, we don't like them. That's not the case. If we don't like a female, most of the time we will get rid of you and find another one. All right? You have to ask him what happened in his last relationship, what happened in his childhood, or there things that happened that made him start to be a little bit less communicative, right? Because people just sometimes they just don't communicate anymore because of what happened before, right? What might have happened in their last relationship, like I said. It's not that there's anything personal going on with you. Most of the time, it is something going on with us. And it doesn't have to be negative. It just could be, hey, I just like to deal with stuff, how I deal with it. If I go through something, I really just like to just handle it on my own. I don't really like going through too much and talking about it, right? If I'm going through stuff, I don't want to bring other people into it. So he might not want to bring you down, even if he is feeling some type of way. And that's how he deals with stuff. So I would tell you it's not that big of a deal. But if you really want to find some answers, just ask him about his last relationship and did he open up in that one? And or what happened as a child? Was he allowed to express his feelings? Was he allowed to cry? Was he allowed to, shout, run around the backyard when he got upset? Or was he told to shut it down all the time? You'll normally find your answer that way. All right. Now, great question because ladies, men can be a little complicated. I don't think in general we're complicated, but we can be. And those type of questions need to be asked because you can be thinking one way, and it can just be that you know he just doesn't like communicating or something like that. And I like the fact that I like when women ask men for their advice because many times you will ask women advice on men, but you don't ask men. And if you want to learn about the other gender, you got to ask the other gender. So that was a good question. All right. So make sure once again, if you have a question, if you have some type of submission or any type of story, situationship for me, that you email me at coachmark22@gmail.com. All right. Now, this question comes from one of my guys. It says, needing space without guilt. Coach, I love my girl. We have a good thing going, but sometimes I just need time alone to recharge. When I mention it, she takes it personally, and she thinks I'm pulling away. Is it wrong to need space in a relationship, even if nothing is wrong? How can I ask for space in a way that doesn't hurt her feelings? Well, my man, let's make sure we get to some good advice on this one because you are not the only one dealing with this, Playboy, and that was a good question. So basically, he's saying that he likes to have time on his own to recharge and get himself together, right? And he thinks that she will think he doesn't want to be around her. He is pulling away, and that's not what he's doing. But he is the type that just needs some space from time to time. So, Playboy, I'm gonna tell you like I tell any of my clients that I coach, you should have an hour or two where it's the gym, where you're outside in nature meditating, where you're taking a walk, whatever you have to do, bro, to get yourself together health-wise. Because normally, if you have that time for yourself, that takes care of a lot of this space that we need, right? So guys like myself, we go to the gym every morning. For that hour or two, bro, it's all about me. It's all about me. And there's some days, bro, I don't want to train that hard. So I find myself walking around. I'm doing self-talk. I'm listening to music. I might listen to a podcast. But by the time I come back, right, I don't need so much time alone. See, I'm seeing that a lot of you guys are just getting up, going to work, and then you come right home and your lady's there, your family's there. You never get time to yourself, okay? And you might have a hectic schedule, bro. I understand it. But if you're saying that you need space and you need time, you probably have time on you. What you're doing is you're a little scared to tell her, I need time. So, bro, you have to demand it. Hey, sis, I need time. And listen, you might need to tell her exactly what type of time. Because if she's getting a little bit confused and thinking that you need space away from her, right? In her head, she's thinking she's doing something wrong or you want to be around another female. Bro, women, they watch Lifetime movies, bro, and in their head, listen, the stuff they think about, we would never think. So she'll go crazy thinking about what you might want to go do. And all you want to do, bro, is take a ride. All you want to do is go to the gun range. All you want to do is go fishing for a couple of hours, right? So I would say, tell her this. Hey, listen, sis, I either need an hour a day where I go to the gym, I go do whatever I'm going to do, take a walk, do whatever I'm doing, or I need an hour on Mondays, Thursdays, Sundays, I need like 3 or 4 hours. And it's kind of scheduled, right? At least that way you can say, listen, yo, I told you what it was going to be. Every week I'm going to do this during these times, and you already know it's coming. So you have no reason to get in your feelings. But dude, at the end of the day, you got to do you. Because, bro, she could leave you tomorrow. She could leave you tomorrow. So if she does, and you spent all this time needing space, now you got 9 months that you got to get your life back together. So you need your space. I think distance makes the heart grow fonder anyway, right? And she'll probably find some resolve in knowing that she has some time to herself as well. And then she knows when you're coming back. She just might be a little bit insecure, bro. And that's okay too. Because just like I talked about with the first question, at least you know she wants to be around you. Huh? At least she knows you like see, when a woman really likes you and or loves you, you're gonna have to try to get space from her. You understand? So at least you don't have that problem. But I think just establishing that you need some time, that that you need some space, that's schedule it. Good way to do it. Just schedule it with her. Women like a lot of them like security. And some of that security comes with, oh, I know he's going somewhere on Tuesday. He's going somewhere Thursday. He hangs out with his guys on Sunday. They play golf. She knows it's coming, bro. But that's a really good question, man. And I think so many of us men ignore what we want, right? And most of the time, it's very simple. Now, we crash out on sis. We arguing with her. We're in a bad mood at work. A lot of things happen because we're not taking care of us. So that was a really good question, bro. And more of us need to take care of us. All right. Now, you got a question like that, a submission for me, email me at coachmark22@gmail.com and I'll get you on the live Q&A. All right. So another question from one of my ladies says, hey, coach, I've been with my man for a while. And lately it feels like I'm the one carrying the relationship. I plan the dates, I do the emotional work, and even initiate most of the conversations. He says he loves me, but it's starting to feel like he's just coasting. What should I do when I feel I'm giving away more than what I'm getting? That's a valid question. And you are not the only one that feels this way. But I just had a conversation with somebody earlier today, and I allowed them to know that a relationship, the people that told you it was 50-50 lied to you. They lied to you, sis. It's never going to be 50-50 because you guys don't live the same lives. It's really, really great. It's really, really great if you had the same exact work schedules, you worked the same exact jobs, you made the same exact money, drove the same exact cars, lived the same exact lives, but you don't. Your relationship is never going to be 50-50 because he might have a lot to give during this season, right? It's summertime. He's off a little bit. He's a teacher. He got more time. So now he can put a lot of effort and energy into you. But when school starts back up, he might be more busy. He might be a little bit more stressed out. He might be dealing with different students. Depending on what his job is, every season changes. And it will change for you guys. There's almost no relationship where the man does exactly the same amount that the woman does. Household chores, finances, even things like planning outings and planning dates. But it just don't go that way. So you have to understand your relationship is not going to be 50-50. Now, you said lately you've been planning all the dates, right? What I would ask you is he canceling on any of the dates? Is he ready to go when y'all go on y'all dates? Does he have a good time on the dates? Is he dressed, smelling good with his hair cut? Huh? Now, if he's not doing those things, y'all have some deeper problems. That means he doesn't want to be on the dates. But if you're just planning the dates, sis, he's gotten used to that. And as men, we get used to it. Oh, what we doing this weekend, boo? Oh, well, I plan for us to do X, Y, and Z. All right, cool. Let's go. Let's go. And so he might just not be the guy who initiates the dates like that, right? And ladies, we get lazy. Guys get lazy. We date you in the beginning, and then we with you now. I'm paying bills. What I got to date you for? But when you plan the dates, if he's coming on the dates, if he's in a good mood, if he's not canceling, if he's dressing his best, then he wants to be with you on these dates. I wouldn't worry about who's planning them. Okay. Now, you said something about the dates themselves. So what I would say is have the conversation because a lot of times, ladies, we do not know that you have a problem with planning the dates or the outings or the trips because you take control on a lot of things, ladies. And so if you're taking control in this area and we don't think it's a problem, why would we change it? We are very, hey, listen, as men, we get in a routine, baby. And if it's going good, we're not going to break it. You understand me? So planning the dates is not a bad thing. I think if he was canceling, if he wasn't having fun, that would be a problem. Now, you said you're doing the emotional work. I don't know what that means. Okay. That's the, and that would be hard to answer without you getting specific, right? So I understand that you couldn't get so specific. But again, I always tell you, ladies, it's hard for men to move through relationships being navigated by their emotions, right? Like, let's just say, I feel like you might be interested in other guys and it's bothering me, right? You work somewhere where you have a lot of access to men, a I feel like you might be interested in a lot of them. I'm not feeling myself lately. I might have gained a few pounds. Like I'm just, I'm in my bag. But ladies, let's be honest. You really don't like that. You really don't like insecure men. You really don't like a man who's always checking your phone, asking you where you've been and who you was talking to at work. You don't like that. I use that as an example because a lot of times we'll just we'll just keep that in. Man, I'm gonna keep this in because I don't even want to talk to her about all that and have her thinking I'm some type of chump. I'm gonna just eat that. So we will not lead with our emotions. We'll bottle it up. We'll keep conducting business as usual, no matter how we feel. And that's how we mostly have to move through life. So if we can't concentrate on our emotions and let our emotions dictate us, we a lot of times don't do emotional work as well, right? So when you said something about initiating conversation, okay, again, I got boys. One thing I remember telling all of them at some point, bro, you gotta shut your mouth. Shut your mouth and stop crying all the time. Shut your mouth and get out your bag. It's time to go to school. Stop talking so much in school, bro. Get your work done. A lot of guys been getting told that their whole lives, even at the job. Bro, you gotta get the work done. Stop talking too much. That becomes part of how we interact, right? Because he feels like, oh, I'm there. I'm paying bills. I'm present, right? I love her. That should be enough, right? Well, I gotta initiate a bunch of conversations. You know, did you ever see a bunch of guys get together and watch a game? And sometimes you'll come down and six dudes watching a game and they're not talking, but they all are there together. And at the end, they'll say, "Man, I'm glad we got a chance to watch this game together." That's how we are, ladies. That's how we are. We communicate silently. We communicate more with our actions. So I'm not trying to give this guy excuses for everything that you said that he's not doing, right? You might be putting in a lot more effort right now, but I will bring these concerns to him and say, hey, I feel like I'm doing this. I feel like I'm doing that. I feel like I'm just really, really driving this boat right now. And I would like you to help drive sometimes because he may not know that you're tired of driving. But also, too, you have to understand the nature of a man. The nature of a man is not to be emotional. The nature of a man is not to be talking all the time. The nature of a man is to be doing. The nature of a man is, hey, if she's planning these things, I'm going to show up and be my best. I'm going to let her drive the ship. Oh, he got it. They got it. All right, cool. I'm just going to go along. So it's worth you sitting down talking to him about. But just understand the nature of a man and don't take it personal. If he did not want to be around you, if he didn't want to go on these dates, if he didn't want to talk to you at all, it wouldn't matter who initiated the conversations or who planned the date. He wouldn't be going and he wouldn't be talking to you. All right. Great question, though. All right. Now, for the last question of the evening, okay, young man writes in unequal support. He says, hey, brother, I always want to go out of my way to support my woman's dreams and goals. But when I talk about mine, she either changes the subject or gives me dry responses. It's starting to feel one sided. What should I do when I feel like my ambition is not getting the same type of energy back? Boy, oh boy. That's a good one, baby. That's a real good one. Now, we have to realize this about ladies, man. We as men, guys, we expect them to be, I don't want to say we expect them to be perfect, but we almost do in the support category. We expect them to know how to support, know when to support, know what to support. And maybe they weren't taught that as a child, bro. Maybe they weren't taught that growing up. Maybe they weren't in a healthy relationship before they got into a relationship with you. So we expect them to be super duper supportive. We expect them to get behind us no matter what we're doing. We expect them to believe in us no matter what we're doing. So, bro, one of the factors is if she wasn't raised like that, if she wasn't taught to be a supportive partner, she doesn't know how to. How can she know how to? Right? Because her father could have just been somebody who worked for 50 years. There wasn't too much support her mom had to do other than make sure he ate, make sure his lunch was packed. Right? Also, She might be self-centered. She might be self-centered. And bro, listen, we will ignore these huge signs that somebody's given us. When we see that they're self-centered, they're a little bit selfish, they're all about them, we will deal with it because we like them. We will deal with it because we like the way they make us feel. But it's hard to navigate a relationship with a self-centered person unless all you are is someone who supports. If you're the type of background dude, right? But it sounds like that's kind of getting on your nerves. So if she's self-centered, if she hasn't been shown how to support, when you think it's time for her to reciprocate, she may, number one, not know how to do it, but number two, not want to do it. We think because someone says I love you, or they have sex with us, or share bills with us, that means they really want to see us shine. And that takes me to my third point. If your goal, if your plan goes the way you want it to go, you think that she could be scared of what will happen? Many people, and I'm not just going to say women, many people fear what could happen to their relationship if their partner reaches their goals, whether it be financial, whether it be some type of fame, whether it be travel, whether it be a new position. They fear what can happen to your relationship if all goes well. So I've seen this in many, many cases and many clients I've worked with, bro. They will say, I didn't want to support him because I was very, very scared of what was going to happen if he got to his goal. So I just kept pushing him on. I just kept asking him to wait. Oh, wait till we have this other child. Oh, wait till I get done with school. Oh, we don't have the money yet. Because all the while they're worried about what you're going to do once you get to your goal. Are you going to stay with them? And bro, listen, hey, there's a lot of women that are very, very insecure, right? A lot of people that are very insecure about themselves. So they're looking at themselves. They might not think as highly of themselves as you think of them. So therefore, when you get to the bag, you gonna stay with her. I'm gonna make her life good, Mark. What you talking about? She don't know that. She don't know that. And she might have been with somebody who left her as soon as they got successful, bro. You know what I mean? So again, three different ways that she could have not been brought up in a family that showed her how to support a man. She could be super self-centered and be egotistical. And guess what, bro? That's probably going to land you in a messed up position at some point. And or she does not want to see you succeed because she's insecure about what you're going to do with that relationship once you do. All in all, you need to talk to her and express your feelings about how it makes you feel, how it damages you that she doesn't support you. And bro, that conversation is going to probably tell you everything you want to know. I'm telling you, bro, when you sit her down and say, yo, I've been trying to get at you about my goals and my dreams, and you keep pushing me off, what's the deal? She's either going to get self-centered on you, she's either going to express her insecurities about you winning, or she's going to tell you, you know what, yo, I didn't even know that I wasn't supporting you. I never had to support somebody who had their own business. The other two dudes I was with, they just worked 9 to 5. I never been with a man who opened a business. You know what I'm saying? So gotta have the communication, man. I know it seems like a broken record to all these questions. To all these questions, I always say communicate. But we will have thoughts going around in our head, bro. Ideas about how we think somebody is thinking, and we don't ask them. And we got to do better with that, man. We got to do better with that because in relationships, bro, you can't. It's not a guessing game. You're gonna be wrong. If you guess wrong too many times, bro, your relationship's going down the tubes. And as men and women, we're 10 times better in healthy relationships. That's it, and that's all. Humans were not designed to be by themselves. You understand me? All right. So that was a really good question, man. And you do matter. You know what I'm saying? To all my guys out there, you matter just as much as she does, just as much as your kids do, just as much as your mom does. You matter, fam. All right. So whatever it is that you're going through, first of all, ask questions just like this young man did. But also, too, communicate with your partner, man. Let them know when you ain't feeling stuff. You got to do it in a mature way. And you can't say, sis, I ain't feeling you coming in at 10 o'clock, but then you be coming in at 3, homie. You understand me? But most of y'all, you're coming from a very sincere place, and you just are used to not saying stuff bothers you, but you have to. You have to, because it will get to a point where you're just ready to leave the relationship, and where you could have communicated and kept yourself from all that pain. All right. So, as always, man, I appreciate y'all for hanging out with me tonight. Now, these good raw questions, man, from men and women, they're much appreciated and they're needed. We need to have these type of conversations because people need to find solutions where they can't find solutions. Everybody doesn't have people to talk to. And a lot of relationships go down the tubes for lack of communication. So, if you have a question for me, a submission for me, once again, please email me at coachmark22@gmail.com. That is coachmark with a C, 22@gmail.com. Now, if you feel like you are in a situation with your partner, perhaps, and you guys feel like you need some one-on-one coaching on how to get back on track, right? How to keep your relationship from going down the tubes. You might be in a position where you need to book a call with me to get some one-on-one coaching. All right. Just to tell you personally, I've been through a lot. You ever fail a test so much that you know the answers now? You understand? It was multiple choice. You done got it wrong so many times that you know the answers now. Well, that's me. Okay. So go down in the description, book a call. We'll get on the line. We'll figure it out. We'll see if we need to establish a relationship, or if I need to hook you guys up with a family therapist or maybe a couples therapist that can dig a little bit deeper into whatever issues you guys got going on. So go down in the description, book a call. But I appreciate you guys for hanging out with me, sharing some time, sharing some value with me. Please come back tomorrow. We're going to go Monday through Thursday, 8 p.m. That is Monday through Thursday, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Tell a friend to tell a friend, share the post, and we're going to come on here and get to it every night, all right? So, everybody have a great evening. It is your boy. Mark my words.